Mhm.
All right. All right, Creator. Thank you. Thank you for another day. We are one day closer to the kingdom, one day closer to Cosmin Day, one day closer to the spiritual awakening to come upon the whole world, in which the consciousness of the whole world will be turned towards the knowledge of you, Creator. I thank you for that. Look forward to it. I pray for the manifestation of Cosmic Day. I pray for the knowledge of it to be given to us so that we can prepare for it, so that we can rejoice in it, so we can look forward to it, so that we can bless your name, so that we can realize the eternal kingdom the way it was always meant to be, the eternal kingdom where there is a brotherhood of men, where there is no longer the current reality of selfishness and greed and materialism and ego. So, Creator, I thank you for your whole plan to have a people for yourself who would gravitate towards you, that would be able to attune to your voice, share your word. Creator, I hope that you use my video today, that you'll glorify yourself, that you'll give me an anointing to be able to share the message that I'm going to share, and that it'll bless brethren who come in and listen to the video. I just pray for grace, and I pray for brethren who have a need. They have a need. They have prayer requests. And so I ask that they be given grace and mercy as well, Creator. And that not only that, but then when they receive favorable results and answers, and even if it's unfavorable, that they might testify so that other brethren can hear, and then they can rejoice, and then they can be strengthened to seek you and to turn to you, so that we can all learn to do the same thing. So, Creator, I just pray for Saturday as well, that it might be the advent of Cosmic Day. I pray that it is the advent of Cosmic Day. I pray that you would move on the world, and that you would bring an event that would increase our global consciousness, that the kingdom of man would take note that the eternal kingdom is at hand, and that the current system of imbalances and injustices would come to an end. And so, Creator, also asks for mercy and grace as we do the soul confirmations at the bottom of the hour, that you'll infuse us with the power that the soul confirmations speak of when we do them, that you will infuse all of us with the power and the blessing of the soul confirmations. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for this opportunity to try to redeem the time while we are in this reality. There is no greater blessing. There's no greater blessing than to redeem the time. We thank you for it. In your name. All right, brethren, thank you. My name is Shaikwab Ben Yisrael. Welcome to my channel. Elijah, brother, good to see you. And anyone else who comes in, thank you for joining me. My channel, my program, where I just try to take a little time out during the week, during the to just try to minister to my brethren who are called faithists. These are sons and daughters who have decided to attune themselves. They have decided to seek the Creator, and the Creator has blessed them with the ability to hear his voice. The Creator has blessed certain brethren in this reality with the ability to be able to see 100 years ahead of time. concerning them, brethren who are blessed with the ability to realize that the current reality is only temporary, and that one day that we'll realize that the things that we are going through right now, it will seem like it was so long ago, yet the decisions that we make in this reality, they have eternal ramifications. Eternal ramifications. Now, you ask anybody whether they would choose, you know what? It reminds me of this movie where I think it's a real famous movie called On the Waterfront. Remember that? I don't know if you, brother, that was a black and white movie. You probably don't know anything about it. It was a real famous line in the movie where this guy, he was a boxer, but his trainer sold him out for short-term glory rather than long-term. And the guy sat in the car with the trainer when he realized the trainer, what he had done to him. He said, I could have been champion. I could have been a contender. I could have been champion. He said, but you went for the short money, Charlie. You went for the short money, meaning you took the short-term glory. You take the short-term glory over the long-term, the eternal benefits. And we live in a reality. It's the same way. People pull the allure of the world for short-term glory is so great that the vast majority of people, it seems that they go for that rather than to consider. It's too hard to, for brethren to consider the long term. We live in a reality like that. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible shame, but it's the truth. I'm telling the truth. So this is a channel. It's not for everybody. It's for brethren who can look into the future and they can learn to prepare for it. And so when we look at the Creator and we look at the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook, and we see the Creator and what he tells us about who we are and what reality is all about, the Creator, he makes it pretty clear. Now is not the real life. He even says that in the OAHSPE, this life that we are in right now, it's not the real life. If you can imagine that. I'm going to share something real quick too. Well, let me do my rooms that I have on Facebook, me and my brother Omian's rooms on Facebook. Here's mine. It's got my contact information where I try to target orphans and disabled and elderly. You can contact me, and if you see that there's a need, then I can certainly be contacted. This is my information. Here's my room on Facebook where I try to share from the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook so that brethren could just have something to consider during the day. That's the important thing, to be able to have something where you can think about during the day, and because that's where the battle is. The pull on the influences of people it's relentless. The world, the flesh, saying, hey, feed me, feed me. Anyway, here's my room. You can send me a friend invite. And here's my brother Omian's room on Facebook. He's got a room on Facebook where you can come and send him a friend invite, come join, have fellowship with them as well. And then here's his other room where you could go on Facebook, send him a friend invite. The brother has 2 rooms where a brother can come to and he can have fellowship and partake of the, where the things that brethren post from the OAHSPE. So you can try to, so that we can all grow together, learn and what the will of the Creator is, and redeem the time. So those 2 rooms right there. 3 rooms. You can click on the button in the description area and it'll bring you in, and then so we can have fellowship together. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share from a verse, real famous verse I like to point to all the time, where um the creator, the video that I'm gonna do today is called JEHOVIHS Kingdom, and it's from the OAHSPE chapter. It's from the book of JEHOVIHS Kingdom, chapter 24, and it's kind of a rough read. It's kind of a rough read because he makes a distinction between faiths, and he makes a he draws a pretty clear line about um who his people are and what he will do, how he will deal with them, as opposed to those who are not considered to be faithists or have made a decision for the earth, pretty much. Now, I wanted to share something that, let me go to my room and just look at the verses some verses that I've been sharing in my room. If I can bring my room. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to share some verses. Now, the other day, we were talking about spirit and soul. Spirit and soul. For you brethren that were here, that were in the room the other day, brother asked the question, what's the difference between spirit and soul? Then we got off on that. We talked about it. And one of the conclusions I came away with is that it sounded like they were somewhat synonymous, like when you read a verse that talk about the soul, you could interchange it with spirit, but it's not always true, for the simple fact that some verses you read where it says spirit and soul in the same sentence. And personally, I think it's pretty important because we need to know the functions that, what the spirit, what its function is, the soul, what its function is. So I found myself just going across some verses that talked about that. Here's one of them. It says, and I spoke to your soul. See, and I've been talking about that last couple of days about how the creator operates. He speaks to your soul. Now, I think he speaks to us all kinds of ways. But he says here, he speaks, I mean, that's like a principle of his for faiths. It's like he speaks to us internally. That's how I internalize this verse right here. It's like he speaks to you internally in a voice, in a inaudible voice. It's not audible. Speaks to your soul. And that's what separates that, I think that's what separates brethren. The ability to know to hear the voice, the voice of the soul is kind of hard to describe. I can only describe it as when you look back at things that you have done and choices that you have made, it seems like I can only hear the soul that way. Only when I look back. Well, maybe that might not be true. I think that you can get like sudden inspiration concerning something, but for me, looking back and seeing the choices that you make and the things you thought and the fruit of the things that you thought, and then you can learn from, or you can see how your soul, it led you and inspired you to go one way or another. But I think like contemporaneously, like at the moment, like right now, to be able to listen to it, I think it could be done, but I think it takes a lot of work because you have to quiet yourself and really be in to state of meditation and then listen for the inspiration. It says, and I spoke to your soul, the Creator says, saying, choose what you will to be the inspiration of your mind. And then here's that phrase, spirit and soul. He mentions spirit and soul. He doesn't just say your soul or your spirit. He mentions both spirit and soul. So you have to think that they have certain functions. They operate specifically in certain areas. They have, I want to say, particular missions. I think no, that's kind of vague. They have a particular function concerning us, the spirit and the soul. Creator says, I spoke to your soul, saying, choose what you will be the inspiration of your mind. And so we live that explains the reality, the world, people, choices they make. And from a young age, some decide do this, some do that. And we live in a reality where the world shows us the famous people, the people who are at the top, and because they had that inspiration to go into that direction. You got people who are, top of the political world, the sports world, entertainment. We see mostly them. That's what that's what they show us. And they exercise the inspiration that they were under to a higher level than most. Not everybody can be, I would think that people who they want to be rich, they exercise that inspiration to a greater degree than most who are not rich. The Creator, he seems to say that we, according to our inspiration, we make up who we are. And so here we are, faithists, brethren who are spiritual. See, not everybody can do what a faithist can do. Not everybody can do what a faithist can do, and that is to be spiritual, to put the world aside, to see the world for what it is, and to make up your mind, to be dedicated to trying to hear the voice of the Creator. I could think of a couple of examples that, one of the big things is eating meat. Eating meat. Creator don't want faithists eating meat. Now that is a tough one right there. Creator says it blunts your spirituality. We don't know how, but I believe him personally. And all that we get fed when we look at the TV, we look at the media, it's like 24/7 animal sacrifices, telling you, every second of the day, it's like something that has to do with animal sacrifice. This restaurant, this hamburger, this chicken, and for faith, that can be rough, because we're turning away from that stuff because the Creator said to turn away from it. Affects your spirituality, makes it harder for you to hear the Creator's voice. He said it charges your blood with violence. That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. Well, it says here, behold, I, your Creator, am your servant to impregnate you with thoughts, ideas, and disposition. We're going to read this later on, too, when I do the reading. He says, all you have to do is choose. And each one of us, everybody, whether we know it or not, that's what we're doing. I just can't get over that, man, because as much as people love themselves, want the best for themselves, them and their children, you know what I mean? You would think that people would grab on the, hey, snap, Sister, good to see ya. ASAP. So this is one of those verses right here that just jump out, man. I can't let it go. I can't let it go, man. The Creator, he says, he's the one. He impregnates us with thoughts, ideas, and disposition based on our choice. I wish that the world knew more about this. Boy, I wish, man, but not everybody has that. I'm telling you, man, I think about that. And oh, you've been reading Radiance? Yeah. If you ever find something in there and you want me to share on it, just let me know. From Radiance. So this promise right here, man, if the whole world would just grab hold of that, how the Creator, he described himself. He says, I'm your servant to impregnate you with thoughts, ideas, and disposition. All you have to do is choose. So he says, okay, what do you want to do? And you have to think, in the world, people, they make choices. They make choices. And Creator, he lets them go down that road. That's amazing, ain't it? When you think about it, it's like the Creator says, okay, what do you want? What do you choose for yourself? And maybe somebody says, well, I want to get into, I don't know. I mean, because I think about it like, people may make choices and then they regret it. But they get addicted and they choose to stop, but they can't. So how does that work with the Creator? Maybe they made a choice, they went down that road, but then they got addicted and they choose not to do that anymore, but they can't help themselves. How's the Creator? How does he factor in that type of situation? We got a whole world of addicts. Can't get up to make a decision. They can't break. You can't break from it. How does the Creator factor into that? I wonder. You know what I mean? Creator says, you make the choice and I labor for you to bring it about. That's what he says. It says, yes, I said, I will even take you to whichever place and condition you may choose. How do you like that? You know what I mean? You brethren ever think about that? See, again, man, the Creators seem to be telling us that during our life, we made a decision for the Creator. Even when we were young, we didn't even know it. It's like he's saying that even when we were at zero entity, and I think it even says something about that later on in this chapter we're going to read, how we, even when we were a blank, that it was within us that we were going to gravitate to the Creator. See, not everybody has that ability in reality, man. That's what, that really, it explains a lot why people make the choices they do. And I have to chalk it up to some people, they learn in this reality, they gravitate, they ascend, they start their spiritual journey in this reality. But then a lot of other people have to wait until they cross over and they're born in the spirit. And even the OAHSPE, it even says that. So we are really fortunate that you faith this, you brethren, you gravitate towards what is spiritual. You see the world for what it is, the materialism, the ego, self-serving, the corruption, the imbalance of the world. You're able to see it. You're able to see it. And then, well, I can only speak for myself, but once you are able to see it, then the choice is easy. You don't want, especially when you realize that the Creator, he said that he keeps death. He keep it before he keep it before his face. So men can think, man, you can't take it with you. It's only temporary. He said that's why he keep death, death, Death. He keep it before a man's face. That just blows my mind, but the pull of the world is so strong that only the children talking about the son, to be pulled out of the beast kingdom, and that's another thing too. We talked about that in the Bible study. The brother asked us to define what the beast kingdom meant to us, and some brethren said the self, and some brethren said religion, and some brethren said Cephas, which is that which is enforced on you, and so only, faith is, we got the beast kingdom in us. We got the beast in us too, because the vibration where you racks, and you tend to they affect us, or maybe it might make us to react in ways that we normally wouldn't, ways that we normally wouldn't. We're subject to the racks, which is the beast, which is the self. But they have a degree of power over those things. But the world is in captivity to the beast, either the religious beast, the beast of the self, the beast of religion, the beast of government. It's all around us, Time for the soul confirmations. Time for the soul confirmations. Bottom of the hour, I do the soul confirmations. These are affirmations. This is like the creator is saying, let me see. Ace Nass got something. She says, okay. She posted a few things on her channel from Radiance. There are a lot of things coming on this earth to test us in our faith. Yeah, absolutely. Been that way for as long as I can remember. Program testing, every day, man. It's like, testing, we have to look at the kingdom of man. We got to look at his kingdom. We got to listen. We got to look at, fallen humanity. And, oh man, it's like the creator is really, he, from what I could see, he really tests your faith. It make me give thanks, man, that now, just for me personally, that we go through the flesh one time. We go through this experience one time in the flesh, man. We go through it one time. Did you brother know that? We go through it one time, man. One time. And I remember reading, and I forget where it was, but maybe you brother can remember, but it was about a brother who crossed over, and the spirits were saying, congratulations, man. Congratulations. You were on the earth. You made it. Now, I forget where I heard that, but now I do believe that there is, I just think that there's something to our spiritual graduation that it makes it all worth it. Call me kooky, man, but I just believe that. It's what keeps me going, one thing that everybody should understand for sure is the temporariness of all things. And some people give their whole life to the temporariness of this reality. It's a terrible thing, man. Again, you look at the successful of this world, they had to put in time, money, work, to get to where they are. Why is it different with the creator? And they do it for a perishable crown. It says in the Bible, they give all that dedication, all that energy, all that, for a perishable crown. A faithist, he's a faithist, his crown is eternal. And so this reality, it's got to be, it's got to be something. It's got to be where you could feel it. It seems like in order to receive the glory that the Creator seems to talk about for faithists, I mean, there is such a thing as the glory of the, the glory of the Creator, that faithists seem to be headed for a glory I read about. So, you know what I mean? I digress. We don't go through these things for nothing. And it's a shame that most people, they have to find out when it's too late. But they will know that the Creator is just because people have heard of one way or another about the Creator in this reality. Everybody's done heard about him. They know they're accountable to him, but he doesn't interfere with their free will. And the earth it's just too good to most people. They willing to take the few moments of whatever peace, heart, blessing, and that the earth provides in exchange for, the in exchange for the spiritual realities. This is a serious situation that we're in. Anyway, let's do the soul confirmations. Now, where are we at? Let's do the soul confirmations together, because we trying to get that vortex going, that force in the earth. Creator says to do it. He says do it together. This is how you create that energy in ourselves, in the world. And the angels, they also say that they can use this energy to work the will of the Creator in the world and in our life. So, brethren, this is an incredible opportunity that it's a shame very few people will take advantage of. It's a terrible shame, but let's do it. The one that we're doing today, and for new brethren who come in, read this right here. The left-hand side of the screen that I'm scrolling right now, read that. And there's more to it, but read this, the left-hand side of the screen. I'm scrolling it. Read it slowly. Read it over and over again. And then you'll be up to speed you'll be up to speed as to why we're doing what we're doing here. So just read that. And so it should give an idea as to the importance of these soul confirmations. And it should make sense, man. I mean, don't get me started, man. This is an incredible thing. Oh, man, this is an incredible thing. I'm going to do the reading. It's going to talk about where the Creator says he's giving you the liberty to make yourself. And if you ask everybody in the whole world, everybody wants to be somebody else. Who do you wish you could be? I wish I could be that star. Wish I could be that person. Why don't you just be yourself, man? And then make yourself into the person you want to be. Let's do it. Why not do it? Why not choose that? You want to choose that? Creator says, here's your opportunity. If you can receive it, if you can just believe it. All right. Which one are we at? What did we do last time? Oh, okay. We did this right here. Nope. We did my soul abides serene. Yeah, that's right. We're going to do this one. My soul abides in serene power in the middle, within the center of my mind. That's the soul confirmation for today. So let's do it, brethren. On the count of 3, let's say it 3 times together on 3, okay? 3 times together on 3, the soul confirmation. Let's do it 3 times together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. And that's it for the beginning of the video on January 23rd, 2025. We're going to do it again at the end of the video. Soul confirmations. All right, brethren. So you can see the other ones right here on the screen. You could, stop the screen stop the screen or go back, rewind the video, and go through these soul confirmations yourself. You can also make them up. You know, you don't have to do these word for word exactly. You can just get the idea and do it yourself. See, your soul confirmations, man. I mean, you know what's a terrible thing? Oh man, I know in my heart, man. I know in my heart, man. You know, I get pictures of it all the time. It's like the time comes, people are lined up, and the angels say, okay, did you prepare? Did you prepare for this day? You knew it was coming. Did you prepare for it? And the people, they stand up there and they say, what do you mean prepare? Prepare for what? How? Nobody ever told me. And you know what? I'm sorry, brethren. I really believe that's the case. I'm telling you, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I remember, man, going to high school, and when that test came, it wasn't no such thing as can you let me slide because I'm not ready? You know what I mean? No, brother. The exams, you remember? You knew that these exams was coming up. You had all that time to prepare. Ain't that what they will say? Would they not say that to you? See, Creator showing you how reality, it should prepare you for the spiritual. Is that not what they would say to you? You knew the exam was today. What is your excuse? Well, I forgot. Brother. Well, I was sick. Even that won't fly. Well, I got caught in the snow. Brother. I had to go to the hospital. All right. Where's the doctor's note? See, you get my point. Do you, brethren? You know what I'm saying? See, it just, man, it make me shake my head. It just make me shake my head. This is the Creator we talking about. He telling us, he says, prepare. He says, you in the flesh. That's your time to hear my voice. Hear my voice, attune yourself. He says, it's a benefit to be in the flesh. It's a benefit to ascend while you're in the flesh over if you choose not to ascend in the flesh. Do y'all remember where that said? You know it's in the OAHSPE, right? You brother know that that's in the OAHSPE, right? It's somewhere in the OAHSPE. There's a benefit, and all right, Dave, brother, good to see you. No, brother, that ain't gonna fly either. The dog ate all my study. Nope. Sorry, brother. See? I'm sorry, man. I'm painting a picture like that, but I'm talking about what I've seen in my reality. If you don't prepare for the test or whatever it is that this reality throw at you to see if you're ready for whatever it is you're applying for, they don't want to hear no excuses, man. See, now I could be wrong. I'm sitting up here saying that the world, from what I could see in my reality, they don't prepare. Brother, I'm telling you, I ain't trying to be judgmental or elitist, but I live in a world where people, they don't prepare. See? And you look at the world And it ain't easy for people to get to the top, man. It ain't, I like to share with y'all stories of famous people that I have heard and the things they have done to reach a level of proficiency above their brethren in the world. I shared a story about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I recall reading a story where he was in the army and he used to go AWOL so he could go work out. And then on top of that, when the gym was closed, he would break the window. He would break into the gym to work out. You see, he was the inspiration that was in him. We all are under an inspiration, all of us, for one thing or another. I remember the story about Kobe Bryant and how he used to shoot baskets in the dark. In the dark. I remember a story, there are many stories, and you brethren probably know them too. All I'm trying to say is that each of us are under an inspiration. Some people for the riches of the world, some people for spirituality. To be spiritual, that's an ability. You ask me, that's a talent. Now, it might not be a talent, but you get my drift? Man, that is, and that is, I don't know how to describe it. It's an inspiration where you're going to work at it, whether you like it or not. What I'm doing now, for anybody who knows me, growing up, in school, I had no motivation at all. Oh, it was the worst time of my life. Oh man, it was the worst time of my life, man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Trying to learn and just having even the simplest of things, I had no inspiration. It was the worst time of my life. Couldn't get a date to go with me to the prom on top of that. It's the truth, man. Oh, but I was so glad when I got out. Oh man, I still remember that day. I was free, man. And then life got steadily worse after that, But my point is, I had no inspiration for that. But now I always read, I'm not saying you have to be the same way. I ain't saying that. I am the only me there is, and you're the only you are. All you got to do is learn to tap into you. You each got your special, You just got to tap into it. And then that's what, man, if you tap into it, that's where you just go straight to the stratosphere. You go straight to the stratosphere because you done tapped in. If you're spiritual, especially, man, now I can make this deduction. I know I'm allowed to make this deduction, man. I know I'm allowed to make it that if you tap in, if you find you're spiritual and you tap into that, good and well in your soul, man. You know you got limitlessness in your soul. You got it. You got it, man. You got it. That's what the Creator is telling you. He don't have to tell us all the details about the glory to come, because we should already have an idea. I'm telling you, man, we should already have an idea of the glory to come. The blessing. I'm not saying that we worship, for glory's sake. It's just a, what's a good word for, let me see, how would I describe it? It's like an added benefit. I'm looking, but that's cheapening how I want to describe the blessing that faith is. I know that they are under. I know they're under a blessing. They have faith. They have this ability. They're under this inspiration. And it's like an added benefit is the glory that the Creator promises his children. That's how, when I read the OAHSPE, I'm sorry, man. That's what I see. I see the Ethereans jumping up and down. They constantly praising the Creator. What would make you do that, man? You know what I'm saying? I hope I don't sound kooky, man. I just sometimes, I just think about the whole situation, about let me try to share some verses, man, before I do the reading. I'm just trying to encourage brethren to who we are. We are our own people, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. The Creator says so I'm allowed to say it. And what I'm going to read is going to show you, you know, so blame him. Don't blame me, So let's look at another verse. It says, their sons and daughters shall be an honor to him and a glory in my household. Talking to you, faithists, all this shall come to pass because they seek to serve me by practicing good works with all their wisdom and strength. Talking to brethren and sisters, man. Talking about faithists, they shall rejoice and prosper in all things. They shall sing songs of gladness. Go to those who serve me in the practice of my kingdom, for they shall become the chief people in all the world. Can somebody believe? Can you, brethren, believe what he's saying here? Do you believe this stuff? Again, I called to my God, and his angel host, saying, behold, I have separated the wheat from the chaff. I have divided the sheep from the goats. That's talking about our day. If I would have gave you the context of this, I think it's talking about the cosmic era. I didn't get the context of this verse right here. I think this is talking about the cosmic era. See, there's a separation going on. There is a separation going on. Brethren are separating from the beast kingdom of the world. They separating from the kingdom of man. Let me see. Elijah's got something. He says, yep. I'm telling you. He's right. The brother, look what he got there. See, I'm telling you, man. I know in my soul, man, that if we not trying to prepare, it's going to be found out some way. If we not trying to prepare, we here to prepare. You know what I'm saying? We are here to prepare, man. Thank goodness for the soul confirmations and what else ever the Creator will show us to do. Let us take advantage, man. There you are, the angel. Hey, okay, now you're done. You're in the spirit now. Did you prepare? What do you mean? Prepare what? When? How? Huh? I don't know. Who are you talking about? You talking to me? What do you mean prepare? What? I don't know. How? Where? Huh? Wow, man. I have a new people on the earth. And those who had faith came, and behold, they have built for me. I cut it off, the rest of the verse. Then I called out over the earth, saying, the time of my kingdom is come. Now is the time of my reign among mortals. See there? Are you going to hire somebody who does not prepare himself for the job that he is applying for? You know what I mean? He says here, the time of my kingdom is come, and the time of my reign among mortals. And if I gave you the context, it would be pointing to our day. It would be pointing to Cosmic Era. So you're not missing anything by this verse, this standalone verse. Some I shared in the room. What is salvation? I asked AI, what is salvation? So you can read that if you want to. And this is what Elijah just got finished saying. Jehovah separated the people, the Uzzians on one hand and the faithless on the other. And he said to the Uzzians, because I called and you did not come, and I cut off the rest of it. I think this is what I'm going to be reading. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to the reading right now. What does the document say about corrupt leaders who rule over people? And I think I was under the inspiration of being pissed off at the world leaders. I seen a video, and this white lady, she was homeless, and it made me mad that she was homeless. You know, she started crying, and then that broke my heart, and I got upset, man, you know. And she shared about how she was homeless, and she was talking about older people who were living in their cars and living at the park, you know. And it just, I shouldn't have seen those videos, man. It made me mad as hell, you know, because the leadership that we're under, you know, we read something in the Bible study last night where we read that part where the creator said that Christ was going to overcome Brahma and Hindu, I think, but he was going to come up against Confucius and fail. And what that means is that China is going to overtake America. China is going to overtake America. And I have to think, because America is so ungodly, have no sensitivity to the creator. When you got people that got to live in their cars, older, and these are older people too. It just chaps my behind, man. It makes me, you know, we got enough for where everybody could live, man, you know, and it just burns my behind. I know I shouldn't be saying that as a faithist. No, I don't think Russia. I don't think it was because this said Confucius. That verse in the OAHSPE, it said that Christ was going to come up. Or wait a minute. Russia, yeah, they Christian, ain't they? Well, no, I think in this case it was talking about America when it mentioned Christ coming up against Confucius, but they were going to fail. And I think it was saying that it was the end of our power. It was the end of American hegemony in the world. They were going to come up against China. and then they were going to fail. In other words, that China is going to surpass the United States. That China is going to surpass the United States, I think is what it was saying. Here, y'all want to see that verse real quick? Here, you can read this, what I was going to share here on the screen about. I was going to go off on the leaders and how they're responsible for every single, what these leaders don't know. The OAHSPE says that you are responsible for your sphere of influence. Okay, Elijah says Russia is Orthodox Catholic. Okay. Now, let me see. Elijah says the Christian in China have to hide underground. Okay. But I think, well, let me finish my thought here before I get scattered. I read in the OAHSPE where the people that the OAHSPE says that we are responsible for our sphere of influence, meaning that, see, all of us are created with, now, correct me if I'm wrong, we all, oh man, the OAHSPE says something like, we have a spiritual grade. And it sounds like we got to measure up to it. And we have a realm of spirit, a realm of influence. And if we measure up to it, then we are of equal grade. But if we fall below it, we are below grade. And the leaders, people who rule over people, they are responsible for like if you're like a famous guy and you have a lot of influence, the creator, he's giving you a lot of influence. Say like you're like Shaquille O'Neal, famous guy, you see him all the time, TV and all that. The creator says he's responsible for his sphere of influence. How do you like that? Did you, brother, know that? He has a large reach. He has a large reach in the world, meaning lots of people knowing about him. And the creator says he's responsible for his sphere of influence. Now, I don't know exactly how that works out, but I do know I read it. People are responsible for their sphere of influence, leaders. So when you got people down and out like that, these leaders, see, these senators, these congressmen, they don't know. They don't have a clue. You are responsible for the constituents that you rule over. See, America, at least America, they don't know that. Creator talk all about governments. When a government don't serve the people, you better know all those verses. Then the creator sets up guardrails, and a couple of them things are assassinations and anarchy. See, we live in a world they don't know. They don't know. America don't know that its time is done. Your time is over. Your time is over. People who know, they already know that China has surpassed they got this application called Red Note. I don't know if you brethren have been hearing about it. They tried to shut down TikTok. And then when that news got out, there was something that popped up called Red Note that people started talking about, and it was talking about life in China. See, basically, people finding out that China sounds good, if not better, than the United States of America. See, we oppress our people. We oppress our people. That's why you got people. Oh, did you know there's older people living in their cars? You know what I'm saying? Older women, man. I can't get started because it just makes me crazy, man. You know, I need help with that area of my spirituality. You know, ever since the Creator taught me that all men are brethren, all men, no color don't matter. And it just drives me crazy, man. I be praying for Cosmin Day. Man, I be praying my guts out, man, this Saturday that the Creator will do something. I pray, man, please let it raise the consciousness of the Creator so we can stop this madness, man, because it just drives me crazy, you know? The imbalance. Asenath says, oh, okay. She said, it's shut down. Let me see. She said, it's shut down. You can only get it if you don't delete. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know what shut down. Is TikTok shut down? What are you talking about? TikTok? She said, it's shut down. You can only get it if you didn't delete the app. I don't know what you're talking about. Which one are you talking about? It's time for the reading of the word. Asenath, tell me which one you're talking about. Let's go for the reading of the word. Let's go for the reading of the word. Just tell me in the chat there, Asenath, when you get a chance. The reading of the word is going to be powerful. I'm telling you, brethren, right now. I'm sure you're familiar with JEHOVIHS Kingdom, chapter 24. I know you're familiar with it. You know how powerful this reading is going to be. This is going to be one powerful word, brother. I'm telling you right now. This is going to be a powerful word. If I can ever get to it. You see, Asenath says, yes, TikTok. TikTok is shut down. Oh, okay, it is. I thought Trump stopped that. I thought he stopped that. Okay, let's find the reading. JEHOVIHS Kingdom. Okay. Now, you brother know this is going to be one hell of a read, man. Creator don't hold back. He don't hold back, man. He don't hold back. He does not hold back, man. He don't hold back. This is a hell of a read for Faithists, though. You know, it bless your soul. If I could ever find it. Let me see. JEHOVIHS Kingdom, chapter 24. If I could ever find it. Okay, let's go. JEHOVIHS Kingdom, chapter 24. It's a hell of a read, man. You know, once you get started, you can't. Looks like my screen went dark. This is going to be a hell of a read if I could ever find it. Hold on, brother. Oh, we got somebody new in the room. Welcome, man. Bola Quibrar. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if you know what type of room this is. It's for people called the Faithists. Let me see. You got something here. You say representatives in Congress do not rule over their constituents. Representatives represent their congressional districts in Congress. This is a republic, not a monarchy. Well, it's more of an aristocracy, you know. I mean, representatives rule over in the sense that they bring their constituents issues to try to implement laws that will benefit their districts wherever they are, their interests, so on and so forth. So in that sense, they rule over. I see what you're saying, you know what I mean? But I could also, I mean, I'm trying to technically, um, they don't rule over us. I see what you mean. They represent us, but the Congress does not represent their constituents because they have been hijacked by AIPAC, so that the interests of the constituents take second place to the interests of AIPAC. But technically what you say here is that's the way it's supposed to be. They represent us, but that's not the case. Anyway, welcome to the room, Bola. I don't have time to really address you because it's time for the reading of the word. Unless you have some questions about what the room is all about, or you want to, or you just want to know about where we coming from. Let me see. AceNet says, only if you did not. Okay, she's talking about TikTok. Only if you did not delete the app. If you did, you can't get it back. Okay. All right, so let's go for the reading. The reading from the OAHSPE, chapter 24, JEHOVIHS Kingdom. May the Creator bless the reading of this word. These are the records of the sea chiefs. Now, I should have asked, who are the sea chiefs? Who are the sea chiefs? And I imagine it's a high-raised group of individuals, the sea chiefs. I don't have time to look at them right now. The sea chiefs. Let's just acknowledge that it's a governing body, so to speak. The sea chiefs. It says, these are the records of the sea chiefs of the Father's kingdoms. It says, Jehovah separated the people, the Uzzians on one hand and the Vetus on the other. And he said to the Uzzians, because I called and you did not come, because you said your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven, and you did not put forth a hand in my behalf. Who does that sound like? That's the Lord's Prayer, ain't it? Look what Jehovah says. He says, because you said your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven, and you did not put forth a hand in my behalf. He said, because you saw the multitude going after intoxicating drink, smoke, and opium, because you did not rise up saying, stay your hand, Satan. See the permissiveness of the current reality, the system that we live under, capitalism, where all that matters is profit, and anything goes, man. Anything goes as long as they make a profit or they can tax it. And Jehovah is condemning these things. He says, because he's saying the Uzzians, And these are the people who rule over us. Jehovah is saying, because you saw that people were weak, they're weak in dealing with their carnality. People are weak in the flesh. And so that they use these things to ease their reality, to ease up, to smooth out the rough edges of reality. And you saw it, you Uzzians, you saw it. You saw a way to make a profit off of people's weaknesses. And you didn't rise up saying, stay your hand, Satan. But you said, but the Creator, Jehovah said, you shirked. You granted licenses to these sins. Instead of shutting it down, you made people who operated these businesses, you made them pay a fee instead to give them a license to the state. And you have become a polluted people, given to drunkenness, smoking, and all manner of dissipation. Each one casting the blame on others and hiding himself in self-righteousness. Casting the blame on others and hiding yourself in self-righteousness. Thus opening the doors of your houses of debauchery as a temptation to the young. Behold, I have risen in judgment against you. My holy angels I shall withdraw from your cities. And from your places of worship, and from your government and your lawmakers and rulers. That's talking about right now. Right now. You're going to see why when I get to my favorite verse a little later on. For they have profaned me, making laws and granting licenses to carrying on evils knowingly and willfully for policy's sake. See? That's talking about our government. Let me see. Woodson. Welcome, brother. Woodson. He says, does that mean New York has no angels? At one time, the Creator said he did remove angels from New York around the time of the Civil War. Who knows? It could be the case now. It could be. He's saying here, when a government turns from serving his people, he will remove his angels. And certainly New York is like the headquarters of some powerful governing bodies. So it could be. Verse 18, it says, let me read it again. It says, for they have profaned me, making laws and granting licenses to carry on evils knowingly and willfully for policy's sake, hoping for personal gain, personal favor and gain. For they knew that what was not good for one person was not good for a nation. And that whatever sin indulged in would sooner or later bring its own punishment. See, this is a terrible thing, man. I look at America. It's a greedy country. It does not, it's only beholden. See, we live in an oligarchy right now, I believe. An oligarchy where only the interests of the rich are being served. And it's the same thing that brought down the Roman Empire. One of the same issues, oligarchy. When the government, it turns from the interests of the people to the interests of the rich. It says, and that whatever sin indulged in, Creator says, whatever sin indulged in would sooner or later bring its own punishment. And they said, we derive, it's like this is capitalism talking. It's like they say, we derive great revenue from the duties and licenses for these iniquities. In other words, we profiting from it. And you want us to get rid of it? It says, thus hoping to justify themselves by compounding themselves. And I said to them, revenue thus received shall be expended in prisons and almshouses, and shall not be sufficient. Hi, Sharice. Good to see you, sis. Sharice. All right. So the Creator, he's saying, all right, since you look at it that way, you making a big profit, I'm going to make your expenditures exceed your profits so that you're going to need to spend that profit on prisons and almshouses, soup kitchens, food banks, and it won't be enough. It won't be enough because you granted licenses and polluted the people. Behold, the pollution shall more than balance the revenues. See, and we still can't learn. We still cannot learn. You know, you got this oligarchy in power now. They're going to cut the fat, so to speak, which means programs that help the poor, people who need help. See, the rich, they can't see the suffering of the less fortunate. They can't see it. All they see is money. You know, the other day, or actually today, I read an article. Now, President, he's got a son-in-law named Jared Kushner. Let me tell you how some people can be, man. You know, he's got a son-in-law. His name is Jared Kushner. And this guy is a Capricorn. He's a Capricorn. Jared Kushner. I want to show you this guy, man. And he doesn't see the destruction that's going on in Gaza. This guy right here, see, January 10th, he's a Capricorn, right? He doesn't see the destruction that's going on in Gaza. That's the president's son-in-law, man. He looked at the destruction that Israel had caused on Gaza. Do you know what he said? Look, do you know what he said? He said they should rebuild it because it's great resort property. They should build a resort on God. He didn't say nothing about the people. You know? And now Trump is saying the same thing. He don't say anything about the suffering. You know? Now, a Capricorn, some of them, they can be that way. They can be that cold-hearted where all they see is gold and silver when they're working on a lower vibration. These people can be hard-hearted as hell. He doesn't see the destruction. It's the most amazing thing. He sees revenue. He sees property, you know, and the president is the same way. The criminals and paupers shall be a greater burden than if you receive no revenue. Behold, I showed you that as an individual could not sin against me without sooner or later becoming answerable to me. So also I showed you that the same responsibility and result would befall a nation or a people. Man, it is so hard not to report evils. The Creator says, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, man. It is so tough, man. Good night, man. It is so hard to keep silent, man, at the evil. You don't see the destruction of the people. All you see is property. You don't, yeah, he is. He's one of those people. We live in that reality where people, leaders, they can't see people no more, man. They see money. You can't see people no more. That's why we got to pray for Cosmin Day, man. For which reasons? And because of your evasions of my commandments, I called to my God, lords and holy angels, saying, do not waste your time and labor anymore with the Uzzians. Jehovah is saying, for which reason? Because of your polluting of the people, because of your granting of licenses for profiting off of sin and iniquity. He says, for which reasons? And because of your evasions of my commandments, I called to my God, lords and holy angels, saying, do not waste your time and labor anymore with the Uzzians. Don't waste your time. Here, y'all come on home. Come on, forget about it. Don't deal with them no more. That's it. Nor answer their prayers when they call on my name. And even if their chief rulers and lawmakers are in the throes of death, and they call saying, oh, Jehovah, heal our chief magistrate, yet you shall not go to them, nor do them any more service. For they have become a conceited people, saying there is no God, and Jehovah is void as the wind. Behold, you shall let them go their way. Their city shall become full of crime, for angels of darkness shall come among them, and no city shall be safe from theft, murder, and arson. And vagabonds shall roam the country. There shall roam the country places, stealing, robbing, and murdering. And their great men shall take bribes, and their judges shall connive with sin, and the innocent shall be confined in madhouses. And justice shall depart away from them. The employee shall pilfer and steal from his employer, and the employer shall hire others to keep those in his employ under surveillance. But all things shall fail them. For I will make them understand I am the first principle in all things, and that I am justice. That is heavy right there. When you consider the imbalance of the current reality that we're living under, and the way the government is serving special interest, I do think that those fires was like a signal. because I think that mostly the well-to-do were affected by those fires. It's amazing how that area affected well-to-do homes mostly. I mean, opulent homes. I can't help but think that the Creator is saying, this is a judgment. This is just a little taste letting you know that I know what's going on. I am justice, I am purity. And that whoever raises a hand against justice, purity, virtue, wisdom, and truth also raises his hand against me. I made the way of life like growing up a mountain, meaning hard, tough. I made the way of life like going up a mountain. It's not easy. Whoever turns aside or goes downward shall ultimately repent of his course, and he shall have to retrace his steps. See, that's a good lesson about life, man. You know, let's go through it once, man. You know, let's redeem it now. Let's not have to go back and retrace our steps, man. You know, let us go up the mountain. Let us just keep going up the mountain, knowing that one day the mountain is going to be ascended. The Creator says, I made the way. Listen to that, man. The Creator. He said, I made the way of life like going up a mountain. That's a good thing to remember. Oh, when it's tough on you, remember the Creator. He said it was going to be like that. And he said, don't turn aside, man, or start going back downhill. He said, because ultimately you'll repent of your course and you're going to have to retrace your steps. See, it looks like we live in a world of people like that. You know, you instead of climbing, you going downward. Why are you going downward? You're going downward. Don't you know that ultimately you have to turn around and go back up? You got to go over the same steps. He said, to a nation and a people and to a government of people, I am the same. Righteousness shall be first and foremost of all things. Their governors and lawmakers shall be made to notice. The governors and lawmakers shall be made to notice. I thoroughly believe that. They're going to be, so you getting away with it now. You profiting, you're making millions of dollars off of people, and you're not serving the people. You're serving the moneyed interests. You're serving the high and mighty. You're serving the well-to-do. We're in an oligarchy, which is the money is in the power is in the hands of a few people, and they're the ones who are getting their interests served at the expense of the rest of the people. And the Creator says, you're going to learn. You're going to be made to learn that righteousness is first and foremost. You're going to be made to learn it. You're going to be made to learn it, man. When they were a monarchy, I held the king responsible. But when I gave liberty for the multitude to govern themselves, behold, I also gave responsibility to them. So we went from a monarchy to an aristocracy to a republic. But they did not seek to make laws for the righteous government over the whole, but sought to favor certain cliques of iniquities, cliques of iniquities, oligarchies, certain cliques. An oligarchy is a clique, a few individuals but sought to favor certain cliques of iniquities and to make laws to protect them in evil manufactories and for traffic in tobacco, opium, and alcohol. And no man any longer sought to be a governor or lawmaker for the good of the people or to serve me. Thoroughly convinced that's where we are right now. I saw a picture of the Congress of the United States. I saw a video, and there was this person, and he was asking them, do you believe that we should support Israel? He said, do you believe we should support Israel? Because they know that these people are compromised. Here's the Congress of the United States. And that guy was asking them, do you believe we, and they wouldn't say anything. They would not respond because they know, they were convicted that people know that Israel donating to them made them keep their mouth shut. Hey, Mahalia. Sister, good to see you, Mahalia. That guy with the microphone, he was, and they was running away from him. They was running away from that guy when they found out that he was questioning them about foreign aid. And they ran. One of these guys stopped, and he talked to the guy who was trying to interview everybody else. And he said, no, I believe in America first. Now, these people are supposed to represent the people in this country, but they're bought off. They're paid off. It's just like the Creator said. He said, no man any longer sought to be a governor or lawmaker for the good of the people or to serve me. Look at here. But he sought office for profit's sake and vainglory. See there? But he sought office for profit's sake and vainglory. These people right here. He's talking about them. He's talking about them. And we coming up on one of my favorite verses. Now, therefore, my holy angels went away from them and no longer answered their prayers. See, we should pray. There's such thing as praying to the Creator, man. And the righteousness of the first days departed away from them. And they became a nation of money gatherers and servants of mammon. And they became a nation of money gatherers and servants of mammon. That's talking about these people right here. Money gatherers and servants of mammon. Hey, Daryl. Now we got Daryl in here. All right. Talking about these people right here, man. You know, money getters, and servants of mammon. And I did not bless their marriages or their households. And their sons and daughters did not respect their fathers and mothers. For as the fathers and mothers did not respect me, so disrespect and misery came upon them. And their sons and daughters became profligates and idlers, growing up for no good under the sun, depending on their wits to work out a life of sin and luxury. And whoever married peace did not come to, and whoever married peace did not come to them, but contention, jealousy, and bitterness of heart. And their offspring fell in the graves, becoming outcasts, paupers, and criminals. And husbands and wives cried out for divorce on all hands. And the lawmakers granted them and favored them. But lo and behold, the evil multiplied on the earth. In pity, I cried out to them, saying, you may make laws forever, but my kingdom does not come by the road of man's laws. Unless you turn around and begin again, there is no help for you under the sun. But they would not hear me. Then I sent my angels to them, teaching them the same things that were taught of old, among which were, as you bind yourselves on earth, so shall ye be bound in heaven. As you live on earth, serving self only, so into a selfish heaven you shall enter my spirit worlds. But they denied my angels and abused my seers and prophets. In their own self-esteem, they set themselves up to judge me, saying, there is no all person, there is nothing except certain natural and divine laws. And they are dumb like the wind. They do not see, nor do they hear. Then I called out over the earth, saying, the time of my kingdom is come. Now is the time of the reign of my reign among mortals. And look at this. Those who had faith came. And behold, they have built for me. I have a new people on the earth. Again, I called to my God and his angel host, saying, behold, I've separated the wheat from the chaff. I've divided the sheep from the goats. And again, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's talking about I think it's talking about ever since Cosmos began, especially since Practical Guidebook came out. A great separation. Creator says some people know him by direct inspiration, and some people learn of him by indirect inspiration. But in any case, there's a separation from the beast kingdom, the Cephas, the enforced religion of the earth. And I think that's primarily the separation that is talking about. Separation from the enforced traditions and religion of the world. He says, go to those who serve me in the practice of my kingdom, for they shall become the chief people in all the world. I tell you, man. And the world has no clue, man. It has no clue that faith will come on the earth and just hit the world like a ton of bricks, just come from out of nowhere. I remember one time, and this reminded me of, now I'm just going to say this, man, to try to paint a picture. I remember one time, long time ago, I was watching this basketball game, and they do introductions. Sometimes they try to get creative with their introductions, to sports teams. And this one in particular was, out of nowhere, out of nowhere. You know where I'm going to, bro. It's interesting you posted that. You know exactly where I'm going. Wait till I describe it. And so this one particular game I was watching, and I watched the introduction, and the way they did it was pretty creative. What they did was, when the lights went dark, they put the players in the stands. They put the players in the stands so they could give the feel to the crowd of, our neighborhood is going up against your neighborhood. And so when they announced the name of the player, you would see a guy get up in this way over here section and come down to the floor. And it was one of the players, right? And then they would name the next player. He would come from a whole nother part of the arena. And it was pretty cool, man. It was like guys on the playground and they picking their teams. And it's the same way with Faithus. It's going to be like, it's going to be like the draft, where if you ever watch the pro drafts, they say, with the third pick of the draft, the creator selects Elijah 7, New York, New York. With the 8th pick of the draft, the creator selects Asenath Moon, Michigan. Coming out of nowhere, Now, I hope I don't sound kooky, man, but right now, we are preparing for showtime. I believe Faiths are preparing for showtime so that the creator brings them out for whatever work he has planned for them. And people say, who is he? Where did he? I never heard of him. How, what is he doing? He ain't nothing. He ain't got no money. He in a power chair. And plus he's stupid looking. That's the way people think, But see, the faith is, they're being prepared right now. They, so that the world get caught off guard because they don't know how to find the creator. They don't know where to look for him. He's right there in your soul. You don't know how to tap into him, but the faiths do. Out of nowhere, on the world, all of a sudden. See, when you look at the New Testament, it just say that Jesus, the Jesus of the New Testament, I don't believe in the Jesus of the New Testament, but I'm just using it as an example. He came from out of nowhere. It was like he just came from out of nowhere. There ain't no account of his childhood. I know there's some, he struck some kid blind, and I don't know about all that. The scholars are really doing a job on the New Testament. I mean, it's a shame, saying that there ain't no confirmations of his younger years and nothing but hearsay, and you can't corroborate it. And you just hear about him coming on the scene all of a sudden. That's why I think the New Testament is prophetical. Me personally, I think it's prophetical, talking about what our story is going to be. Like Daryl said, we just come from out of nowhere. Even though we hear on social media, but don't nobody care. They ain't trying to tap into their soul to find out which way the creator is going. You ain't trying to tap into your soul. You ain't asking your soul where is he moving? What's the creator? Where is he at? Because then that's when he answer you and point you, but you ain't trying to find out. They shall rejoice and prosper in all things. Don't you know it's talking about you, brethren? They shall be, for they shall become the chief people in all the world. They shall rejoice and prosper. Huh? They shall sing. Oh, they shall sing songs of gladness. Hey, now we got Nazarene in here, brother. Right on, brother. Good to see you. Let me see. Asen says, you're correct. It says he was sent, not born. Ooh. I never recognized that. I never thought about that. I never thought about that. Is that true? It says you are correct. He was sent, not born. But it gives the birth account. Huh? It gives the birth account. Remember? I mean, I don't subscribe to it. You know what I mean? It seemed like the more I learned the New Testament, it's like they created it as they went along because and I look for that different name of Gesera or Gadara. For you brethren who weren't in the room the other day, I was going over the account of the demon-possessed man of the Gadarenes, showing the geographical impossibility of the verse and showing the corrupted nature of the Bible. And it mentioned the city that the pigs ran down and plunged themselves into the Sea of Galilee. The only problem is that the city mentioned was 31 miles away. And so I studied it, and they said, well, there was like 2 or 3, but each one was problematic. Each one was problematic. I can't go into it right now because I'm already out of time. Yeah. ASNET says there was a duality. Yeah. Their sons and daughters shall be an honor to them and a glory in my household. There's that word glory again. All this shall come to pass because they seek to serve me by practicing good works with all their wisdom and strength. With all their wisdom and strength, man. That's what's coming on the world any day now. I pray the 25th is Cosmic Day. I pray. I know. Don't tell me that I'm kooky and ain't nothing gonna happen. Don't say that to me. Let me hope at least. Can I at least hope? Please let me hope. There's an alignment on the 25th. Will you please let me at least hope? I'm allowed to, ain't I? Oh, let it be Cosmic Day. Let it be power from on high. Let it be the reunification of the Etherian angels with the reunification between angel and man. All right, time for the soul confirmations. Let me see. ASNS says one was sent by his father, talking about the account of Jesus Christ in the New Testament. One was sent by his father, the other born in a manger, the third one born in a house. Good knowledge, man. Good. One was sent by his father, the other born in a manger, the third one born in a house. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's pretty tight. See, that's the problem right there. There are the different accounts. They're not corroborating with one another in the Bible. You got the Markan account, the Lucan account, they call it, and Matthew, which was supposed to be the earliest account, and they drew from him and saw the geopolitical problems in his account and tried to change it, and they kept moving the goalposts, and now the scholars are tearing them apart. Oh, it's a shame what they doing to that Bible, man. I even saw one verse in the OAHSPE where it called Jesus Christ the Prince of Devils. You know that? Do you know that? Do you, brethren, know that? Daryl's still in the room. He probably checked out. Do you know, unless I'm misunderstanding that, did you know that, Ace and Ab? I'm trying to find it right now. There it is right there. There it is right there. Thank you, Creator. There it is right there. Oh, Daryl's still here. Hey, Daryl, talk about this. Here, come on the link real quick. I mean, well, I don't know what you're doing. I don't want to force you, bro. I'll let you decide. I'll put the link in there. If you, it's time to close the video, but if you want to come on, if you want to speak on this, because I could be mistaken. So, you know, if you feel like it, you know, it's up to you. Now, right here, look at here. Look at here. Look at here. He said the Prince of Devils. Look at that. See that? Look. What's going on here? Look. He said the Prince of Devils. Huh? Who said that? Who said that? Who's talking here? This is Jehovah talking. He said, when the Prince of Devils came upon the Uzzians. Huh? And then look here. Look here, look. Am I going crazy? Or do you, brethren, see what do you see? Look. Jesus Christ said that. Huh? Look at that. Huh? I must be seeing things. He said, the Prince of Devils. Look, it said he came upon the Uzzians. Huh? See? Huh? Look at that. Who said this? See, look. Look. This passage found in the Bible. Matthew 10, 34, 35. Matthew 10. Huh? I'm sorry, man. That blows my mind. I'm sorry, man. I'm not sharing the tab. I wasn't even sharing the tab. This is what I was looking at. I'm sorry, man. That just blows. I'm sorry, man. That just blows. Man, that just knocks me flat. That just knocks me flat, man. I don't know about y'all. I'm sorry. Let me see. Nazarene says, I'm missing some of the chat. Let me go back up. Daryl said, it's true. Daryl said it's true. For me, that seals it then. He said it's true. I just can't get over that one, man. You got me. Even though I don't believe in the Jesus Christ in the New Testament, you know what I mean? The OAHSPE just come right flat out. He come right flat out, man. He calling the Prince of Devils. Wow. I got to get over that. Asenath says in the book of Radiance, they call him the Beast. You know what? I'm trying to remember. If you can remember that account, Asenath, send that to me. I think I recall reading that too. I think I recall reading that. Nazarene said, always said that was crazy, even when I subscribed to the Bible. Yeah. I'm telling you, that hits me, man. It just hit me. It just hits me because even though I don't believe in the Jesus Christ in the New Testament, I don't think he ever existed. It's just the way the OAHSPE just says it like that, you know? See, Daryl said, he said the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world that he said the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world that he is God. Okay. And then Daryl said, yep, the so-called Prince of Peace has not come to send peace. Yep. We can see that too in the world. Most of the wars are in the name of Christianity. That right there tell you, man, something is off with that God, with that Lord. I'm sorry, but something is off, man. When you got, I love what the creator say, how he don't create alive in order to kill. That right there condemns the whole, you know, people they can't even make that link, can't even link up, you know, murder and killing. That's not of the, you know, that's not of the creator. See, Cherie says, I wonder if he's a dragon that's supposed to come and fire to the earth. Oh man, shoot. It's time for the soul confirmations. I forgot all about it. Let me see. ASNet says Jesus Christ is not the Jesus of Nazareth. I never heard that before. I mean, I thought the Jesus of the New Testament was the same one. Oh, you know, Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus you know, of the Galilee, or all the places that he's associated with. I thought that was talking about the same one. You saying Jesus Christ is not Jesus of Nazareth? One is a man, one is a fallen God. Man, Ace and that, you got some real powerful knowledge, man. Jesus Christ. I can see that too. One is a fallen God, because he said something that, remember that evil God in the OAHSPE? What's his name? Got a long name. The Jesus Christ of the Bible, he did something. He said something that came right out of the mouth of that God in the OAHSPE, Baal something, Gam God or something like that. He got tied right to that fallen deity, whatever, Baal Gan Gad in the OAHSPE. That makes sense. The duality of it, that does make sense. Oh, look at Daryl. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Yes, he is a dragon, the fiery flying serpent of Isaiah. Wow, man, this is all a trip. See? Oh man, hey, Baal Gad, yeah. He said something, I forget. Jesus Christ said something that came right out of that dude's mouth. In the OAHSPE, Baal Gad, God, or something, whatever his name. You see, Daryl said he would show up as himself, but in the form of a man people would welcome. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, Baal Gan Gad. Baal Gan Gad. Yeah. I'll never forget that. Jesus Christ said something that came right out of that dude's mouth. And I can't remember what it is. All right, it's time for the soul confirmation. I forgot. It's some brethren are waiting for that so they can get the hell out of here. So let me do that real quick. The soul confirmations. Okay, this is the one we're doing right here. My soul abides serene in the power within. So let's do that. And then go ahead and close out the video. All right, let's do the soul confirmations 3 times together on 3 at the top right hand of the screen here, where it says my soul abides in serene power. So let's do that one. On 3. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul abides in serene power within the center of my mind. And that's it, brethren. The soul confirmation for January 23rd, 2025. And so, Creator, I just ask that you infuse these things into the brethren, these soul confirmations, each and every one, and that they will manifest in power in our reality and when we're born into the Spirit. Creator, thank you for the fellowship, the that we had today, and for the you showed us in the reading that the unrighteousness of the present reality has a recompense. And you also showed us the blessing of being able to turn from the world and to exercise, to attain to your voice. And it's the greatest blessing in the world. It's the greatest blessing in the world. And the way you've impressed upon us to prepare ourselves, we should prepare ourselves. And for the time when you bring us, like the brother said, out of nowhere, the world knows they have no clue who we are. They don't care. They don't know us. They don't want to know us. We are stretching out our hand, but nobody will reach out and take hold of our hand. And so, Creator, I just pray that my brethren here, that you empower us, that you strengthen us, that you gift us with power from on high as we continue to prepare ourselves and to chase you to the best of our ability. So, Creator, thank you again. Pray for my brethren here who got prayer requests, that you might grant them, and that they would also testify as to the favor they received for whatever it is that was their affliction or vexation. So pray, Creator, in your name, I thank you. And brethren, let me see. Let me read, finish the chat. And then let me see. Nazarene said, the Bible is so crazy that the God of the Bible kill count is 2,055,449,000 to the devil, or to let me see, I don't get you, bro. Is that a ratio? The Bible is so crazy that the God of the Bible kill count is to the devil 1 or 2. I think I have kind of an idea what you're saying, but I can't string it together in my mind. Daryl said, Daryl, he said, damn, you about to close? This was about to get bloody. Yeah, bro. No, you know me, I'll keep going, you know. I mean, I crave, you know, brethren coming on here. You know, you want to talk more about it, be my guest, man. You know, I just usually like to end around 7 or quarter till, just to let brother know that so they can plan, or, you know, I'll be on, or, you know, just, no, brother, I'm a servant to you, brother. So if you ever tell me you want to keep going, or, you know, I'm here to serve, you know. So absolutely, by all means. I just man, oh man, when you think of that statement we saw and what the OAHSPE says, and then the whole world lies in darkness, man. And you know, I've shared Like I got a cousin, he's in prison, and all of a sudden he wanted to contact me. He wanted to, like I was saying before, when they get in the jam, the first thing they remember is a faithist. They either want to talk about God all of a sudden, as in, how can I get out of this jam, or can you send me a few dollars, and they always remember a faithist first, and so he called me, and he said, man, because he heard that I had a podcast, and he said he wanted me to find him a lawyer who could get him out of that jam he was in, and he heard about me through my brother, and he called me. He said, Yaquab, whatever you do, man, he said, don't try to tell me to stop worshiping Jesus Christ. I said, wow. I said, man, your God ain't even enough to keep you out of jail, man, and you still won't let him go. And then what's even worse is his brother, my cousin. He was even worse, he was even worse because he went to Catholic school. He's part of the 1% that made the NBA, and so it ain't no reaching him. And he's a Leo, so he already thinks he knows everything, So I'm telling you, that beast, oh boy, that beast, when he gets a hold of you, man, it's like a dog, he won't let go. He won't let go, man. If the Creator don't break that spirit, I hate to say it, man, All right, shoot, man. That's the best I could do for right now. I didn't mean to go on down go off like that. But brethren, thank you for joining me, man. Tomorrow I'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel, brethren. Join me then. And bless you, brethren. And if there's anything, hey, Ace, also, if you can remember where that is in the Radiance anthology, send me that part where it called Jesus a Beast, because I think I vaguely remember seeing that. I'd like to see it again. So, brethren, again, thank you for joining me. You bless my soul for, join me tomorrow, man. Let's get together again, get ourselves prepared. Oh, Saturday is the alignment. The planetary alignment. Man, let's pray, boy, that the Creator is behind this and that he will use it to raise global consciousness, that he will use it to raise global consciousness. We are in the time of Pluto going into Aquarius. That means something's ready to break. Something is ready to give, man. Something has got to break, man. I didn't even talk about Trump, and he I don't really need to even say anything. I'm not on this channel, maybe a little bit. He's showing who he really is, and he's serving money. That mean, and that what the OAHSPE said. It said every year since the OAHSPE came out, from what I could see, all your leaders, each one is going to be worse than the other. Each one is going to be worse than the other. And so I'll just stop at that because I could go off on that, Well, brethren, that's the best I could do. Thank you for joining me. See me, come check tomorrow. Let's do it again. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until I see you again, brethren, bless you. Peace be unto you. Shalom.